was having a conversation in 2014 with Andrew Steer. Many of you know him, who is the former CEO of World Resources Institute at the World Bank for many years, senior climate advisor, and now head of the Bezos Earth Fund. And he had just come back from Paris and the climate accords. He said he was so excited. And then he said to me, Eric, why isn't there a similar accord for biodiversity, for nature? And that the light bulb went off over my head and said, you're right, we don't have that. And that became a 2-year study that we finished, 4-year study that became a paper we published in Science Advances called A Global Deal for Nature, that basically became the companion piece for the Paris Climate Accords, that looked at what we have to do to save life on Earth, terrestrial, freshwater, marine, and the policy changes needed. We then followed that up 2 years later with a paper called The Global Safety Net, How to Reverse Biodiversity Loss and Stabilize the Climate, recognizing that many of the listeners know that biodiversity conservation and climate stabilization are interdependent. You can't achieve one without the other. But what the Global Safety Net made spatially explicit is where we have to act to protect 50% of the Earth, which we think needs to be protected right by 2030. This paper, the Global Safety Net, has been now widely cited and was part of the basis for the U.S. administration's 30 by 30 pledge and the High Ambition Coalition at the recent Montreal COP. So this is the scientific evidence. The best way to think about it, though, for the audience is, imagine this was 1950. We could all breathe a sigh of relief. We have a lot of time to work towards achieving our climate goals, our biodiversity goals, avoiding ecosystem collapse, avoiding potential of spread of pandemics. But it's not. It's 2023. And we have basically 10 years before we're going to eclipse tipping points in biodiversity and climate. We're seeing it now. Anybody who's followed the news today, of 22 inches of rain in Fort Lauderdale in 7 hours, and the peak El Nino effects that we're seeing now off the coast of Peru, of unprecedented rises in sea surface temperature. We're seeing the climate breakdown now, and we have this opportunity to reverse all of this, but there's the utmost urgency to do so. So a lot of what I do is on the global issues, and hopefully we'll get into a little bit more in this program where on the ground, you have to monitor what's there. And so we've introduced a new technology using Intel's, so bringing AI basically to conservation by having on the edge embedded vision in cameras that can detect everything from, as it's doing right now as we speak, tigers in Indian tiger reserves transmitting in under 30 seconds to my cell phone. So there's lots of ways we can use new technology to restore biodiversity and save nature.